their own images, and so they can compare, with ours. And above all, they can use the tools on the platform to process their images. So without necessarily being a computer scientist, you can use the tools, and you can focus on your research while you allow the computer scientists to do the developmental things. So this infrastructure, or e-infrastructure, be as it may, will be useful for clinicians, for researchers, postgraduate students, and users can get information, specific information from medical images. That bit is the bit I described a little bit as the intelligent part. We want a situation, so we just started. But our target is to be able to develop something similar to an expert system, so that you can process your image and still get experts' opinion about the image, so the intelligence will come in. So the workflow, build the repository. I must say that I've learned a lot, attending this Sci-GaIA. So I want to appreciate, in particular, the organizers. It's been fantastic because all these tools I've never used them before, and now I can know that there is GLibrary or One Data somewhere which we can use without necessarily stressing ourselves. So we want to be able to build a repository using GLibrary and One Data, or whichever one fits our purpose most. And we want to be able to develop, web interface through which users can access the tools, and develop platform for uploading images, and then make the image processing tools available on the platform. So after that, our target is to develop techniques to allow users to be able to select specific tool. And I listened to the talk from about Kepler, and that was really, really inspiring. So it's like I should start using Kepler today. I so much enjoyed it. So we want to see how we can use Kepler and develop report generation module. So that's where advice, could come in. So users could get some information or feedback. So build intelligence into the system using expert system development approach. Now, this is just a scenario analysis of brain MRI images. So everything we've been doing at this pilot or the initial stage will be focused on brain images. So we're going to imagine that a clinician wants to analyze his MRI scan, say brain images. So medical images, so brain images here. So brain images will be acquired and uploaded into the repository. So the data is there. So users will have the opportunity to select the kind of image analysis or image processing to perform on the images. Now the web interface will allow, the user will be able to select, and there are a couple of image analysis or processing that we do. So it might be that you just want to do conversion from one format to the other, like MRI images or CT scans. They come in the format we call DICOM. But to analyze, we need to convert to another format like Nifty or analyze format, so the name of a particular data format. So there may be need to do the conversion, and that makes exchange of data easy. And there might be need to remove what is not brain, so that you can focus on the brain and you can see all the different structures in the brain. And so brain extraction could help to do that. Segmentation. So typically when we analyze brain images, our interest, because we want to localize where problems are, so we segment the images into the three tissue classes. So we have the CSF, we have the white matter, and we have the gray matter. So normally that is what is done in brain image analysis. So image registration is done sometimes to standardize, and so to be able to look at the image, some of these processes or even more may be necessary. So the user is able to select whichever one he wants to use or a group. And from Kepler workflow, we know that it will be possible to combine these different stages. So then the report generation will come. And so the user can say, okay, I submitted my images and they were processed. I don't know why they were processed, but I look at the result. It seems to make sense to me. It could inform me decision. So it could be a decision support system. It could be an expert system. And it could be that, I will take it on my own and share with others, or have a meeting with a group of experts and look at it. Implementation strategy. So from tomorrow till the end of the meeting, our target is to at least do about 70% of what I've got here. So install the Fusion Gateway, Kepler, Indigo, and any other related tool. So I will try to match which one will be the best. But generally speaking, I have an idea of what we can use, but we're going to get support as we were told. So install the image analysis tools and develop the image processing pipeline. So there's a colleague of mine who should be doing anything that relates with the web side of things. So it will be coming next week too, but I will be developing the pipeline and putting all the tools, the image analysis tools together, so you can build on that when it comes. So we want to use relevant Science Gateway tools to create the repository and then develop a web interface for the proposed tool, and then the authorization and the authentication. But I need to say at this point that we're going to be starting, with just a preliminary set of images. So this is a pilot study, and we believe that as things goes on, we can get images all over from Nigeria and then extend that to Africa. So in summary, we want to develop a pilot version of the medical image analyzer using brain images, which will allow users to upload medical images and analyze them. So our future plans, seek funding to support full implementation, and then include other types of medical images. So we'll be starting with brain, but there are other anatomies, and then we want to, we're exposed or we're open to collaboration, and we want to include all kinds of medical images, not only MRI, CT will be there, ultrasound will be there, and then we see how it goes. So thank you very much. I want to really put on record my appreciation to Roberto and Simon Taylor and all the organizers. It's been a fantastic time. Thank you very much.
Questions? Yeah. Bruce,
I'm going to take longer than me.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Actually, probably not. Tomorrow,
yes.
What I'd love to do is to start with the whiteboard and reduce that down to a very simple, like you say, I love when you said pilot study with a few images.
Yes.
Let's map out the metadata requirements for those.
Yes.
And then we can think about what we can do with those. And then of the different applications, let's think of one.
Okay.
And then think, okay, what do we need there? And then try and tie that down as tightly as possible about how we're going to deliver it. Because you're absolutely right. If we can get a pilot together, then that will enable you to be able to say, well, that's where we are now, and that's how we can build on that for the future.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much. Yes.
So my question was mostly about the intimate details of the actual analysis program.
Okay.
You mentioned before that it was based on MATLAB scripts. How tightly are you bound to MATLAB? Like, what exactly happens in the pipeline? What kind of
okay, cool. Some of the image analysis, we have standard tools for them. There is one which is called SPM, and this is specifically for segmentation. So you use it to partition the brain into different chunks.
DICOM images.
It works on analyzing images.
Okay.
So we have to convert DICOM, to analyze first.
Yep.
And so this tool runs on MATLAB.
Okay. Oh, no, MATLAB.
Yes.
Well,
okay.
So, but there is another one, FSL from Oxford University, that runs is C++ code. So that wouldn't need MATLAB. you know. So, but some will require MATLAB, while others may not. So we can see, but some of the image analysis steps, some are better done with one tool than the other. You know, so it depends. I know we can do some compromise if you know.
It happens to be a limitation.
Yes, I could say that. You know, this is was it day before yesterday? I was talking about license, so I started thinking about that, and I'm really trying to see how to work around it so that we can do without licensed.
I think what Roberto was going to say is that most of the time when we hit the MATLAB issue, we try to re-implement things in Octave.
Okay.
Well, actually, I've been involved in a project, an FP7 project called Decide, where we had this, we had a bunch of programs to analyze medical images, and SPM was one of those. Actually, what we called at that time grid SPM, because we made it run on grid, and we converted from MATLAB to Octave.
Okay.
So maybe we can.
That would be.
Concerning MATLAB, if you just if you can build an executable of MATLAB and run remotely, the MATLAB runtime environment is free, and you can download everything.
That's correct.
If you need interaction with plugins that you cannot build in a single executable, then you need MATLAB in all the places, especially if you need graphic interface back, so interactive things. But if you're running batch mode and you have a self-consistent executable, as far as I understand, as far as I remember, I mean, we can check, the MATLAB runtime environment is free and you can download and install freely on Linux machines.
So that would be great. Okay.
So, but Simon is right. I mean, we have 4 large blackboards. We need to streamline and try to do what we really want to do. To list what we really want to do and what are the steps that we need to take.
Okay.
Any other questions?
You mentioned that there is a colleague of yours working on the web interface.
Yes.
What do you have in mind for the web interface? What kind of, who would go there and what would they do?
Yeah, what we're thinking is that, you know, for people to be able to use the tool, then of course they have to access it from a place. And then the interface has to be appealing to them. So we were just thinking generally about developing, you know, an interface using PHP, then or HTML, you know. So that's the idea.
Okay, but does it have to be restricted to like clinicians or can anybody use it?
No, anybody.
Okay.
Anybody.
Okay.
So we're quite flexible about how the interface looks.
Any other questions? Comments? Okay, if not, let's thank Benjamin again. And we short break for 20 minutes. Again, if you want to have drinks or coffee downstairs, there are vending machines. And then we resume in 20 minutes for the last 2 presentations of the day. Welcome. How are you? Yeah, for the first.
Just signing.
And you should. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
he's taking care.
Okay.
So make sure that anything.
Yes. Well, too much nice, I say.
Nice setup.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, very much. I mean, we we had 2 days of tools. Okay. Then today we went through the different use cases. Several of them already mentioned the tools that they want to use, both the legal ones and the others. And